Picture it, Los Angeles, 2025.
Oh, welcome to Out on the Lanai, the only Golden Girls podcast you're ever going to need to listen to. I said ever. I'm HAlanScott / Sadie Pines.
I'm Kerri Doherty. Ever. And today we are bringing you another Golden Rewind, where we go back and rewatch our favorite episodes of the Golden Girls and offer new insights since we first started breaking down these episodes way back in 2014. And we hope you're feeling a little flighty or maybe a little bit floozy because we just...
Or horny
because we just rewatched season 2, episode 7, Family Affair.
A classic, a gem, a wonderful little trip down horny lane. I mean, it is just, I told you, because you were like, I think I know the reason why I selected this week's episode. And you were like, I think I know the reason why you selected this episode, which I know it's obvious to all longtime listeners of the Golden Girls that I have a thing for Michael, that Michael, and my Michael.
I think that's why you're dating your Michael. You needed to date someone named Michael.
Probably. And it was just my birthday, so why not watch the horniest episode of the Golden Girls ever? You know what I mean? Like, of course, that seems to be right on brand for me. But the real reason why I decided to watch this episode was because... Have you watched the Lena Dunham, Meg Stalter show Too Much on Netflix?
No,
yet?
I don't have Netflix.
You don't have Netflix?
No, I know. Saying that is like, I was just like, I don't have a television. What is TV? I just read books by the fire. No,
Wow.
Stan and I got to a point where there are so many subscription services that we could not justify paying for them all.
No, I get it. I get that.
So we dropped a couple, and yes, Netflix was one of them.
Wow. Well, let me just say, Too Much is a very, very good show. I binged it within 2 days. It is so funny. It is so smart. It is so sweet. And it is so... It's not... I wouldn't say Golden Girls / Murder, She Wrote coded. However, there are little gems within the series for fans of both Golden Girls and Murder, She Wrote. The first gem is... on her Meg Stalter. So the whole premise is Meg Stalter goes through a horrible breakup in New York City. She gets a job opportunity to go to London. She thinks it's an opportunity to escape and sort of live her British fantasy and whatever. And in the process, she meets a boy, and it's a complicated love affair that they have, but it's her sort of getting over the last boy, meeting this new boy, and acclimating to British life. And
which is autobiographical for Lena Dunham, right?
Yes, it is. Yeah. It is, and it's loosely based on Lena's. I think they're married to her husband, to a British guy. So anyway, there's an episode. I don't know who she's talking to, but someone is holding her phone, and it's revealed that it's a picture of Angela Lansbury on her phone.
Amazing. Is her wallpaper?
The person. Yeah, and the person goes, oh, this is this picture of you, and Meg Stalter's character is like, no, that's Angela Lansbury. Murder, She Wrote. Do you think I'm a senior citizen? Do you think, like, whatever? So she has that back and forth, and there's another scene where she references Rue McClanahan from the Golden Girls, and like, there's just a lot going on within this show that I think Golden Girls fans will really enjoy. But there was one scene, I don't know why this connected to this. In the walk up to this wedding episode, Meg talks about Rue McClanahan from the Golden Girls. And then at the wedding reception, there's I don't know if they're drag or trans. I don't know what the story is there, because it was a brand new character in the episode. They started singing a song called I'm Horny. Saturday, I'm horny. Sunday, I'm horny. Monday, I'm horny. Tuesday, I'm horny. And because of the Rue McClanahan joke and the I'm horny song, I thought of this episode. So
okay.
This is how we got to
Family Affair. There it is. I was like, it is your birthday. It's, you just had a birthday. I figured you just wanted to see Shirtless Michael. That was a great story, though.
Yeah, I mean, I do. I want to see Shirtless Michael every single week.
It's also funny for anybody watching the video version of this, which you can watch on our YouTube channel, or if you subscribe to Patreon, you can watch it right away when we release it instead of like a week later. But when you held up your phone to reference, oh, look, Angela Lansbury is the wallpaper, you revealed that your wallpaper is Miss Piggy wearing some leopard print.
Yeah. Also on my home screen, it was a big decision for me to change my thing. On my home screen is also Miss Piggy. It's just her eyes.
Wow,
though.
Very good. Mine's little Oreo at the beach.
See, now, okay, yeah, that was my problem.
And she's holding up a stick like a war cry.
Can we talk about this text that you sent recently of little Oreo dancing. Can I put this
Yeah,
up? Is
you
this
can.
okay?
We made a sticker
Okay.
of it of her dancing in her
If you guys have to be watching this because it is the cutest thing ever.
she's in
I'll
her
put it
little
closer so people-
gymnastics or her little dance
she is
class
doing her
onesie.
little thing.
Yeah.
So you've got some tech going. No, so it was a big decision for me when Frasier died. Oh my god, a year ago now.
Mhm.
When Frasier died, I'd had Frasier on my phone since 2014.
Yeah.
Since the beginning. I've never not had a different background. It was always Frasier. And it took me a while to take Frasier off, but I had to just because of the daily reminder and because now I see him and his ashes every single day underneath the television. So I switched it to Miss Piggy, and it's been the best thing I've ever done.
Aw, that's nice.
Yeah.
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 I like it. It's fun to see Miss Piggy. She's a personality and you're a personality, so it's just perfect.
She's my favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you guys should watch Too Much. It is such a fantastic show. I really can't recommend it enough. I'm still thinking about it. I'm processing it. It is quite a show. I was very impressed.
Very good. Well, yeah, if anybody else has watched it, let us know. Let us know what you think of it. Let
Yeah,
us know if there are any
let
more
us
Golden
know.
Girls comments we missed. Before we get
Yeah.
into talking about Family Affair, I just want to talk about what is in the GG VIP Club this week. By the way, we just had
Ooh.
another live watch along party. We watched The Actor because it was 4th of July weekend. And, you know, that we were like, okay, what's the one that feels, we're at the 4th of July picnic, Biff.
Yeah.
So that was the one we everybody
Iconic
voted on.
Blanche episode. Iconic
It
Blanche
was
episode.
so fun. One of my favorite parts at the live watch along parties is when like people are just like writing the quotes, like as the women are saying them, they're just like popping up all in the chat because we all know these episodes by heart.
See,
like
it's so sad because like it's one of my greatest weaknesses, one of my greatest faults as a human being is I don't remember quotes. I don't.
you
I'm
remember you remember the gist of them.
Of course, yes. I'm the Valerie Cherish of Golden Girls
you
quotes.
are the Valerie Cherish.
And that's a reference to the comeback, which we're talking about. On the Rusty Anchor Happy Hour today.
Yes. So the comeback is coming back for a third season, which
third and final.
Sure. Wink. I'll believe it when it never comes back.
They said it. They never said final before. This time they've said final.
They said smart and final. This is final. Okay.
Yeah.
So the comeback is coming back for its quote final season. And of course, that's a show that you and I are so obsessed with that we even thought about doing a rewatch of the comeback on this podcast at one point.
Yeah.
And so we thought, because there are a lot of actors on the comeback who have played fictional versions of themselves, we wanted to think about what it would be like if Betty, B, Rue, and Estelle were on the comeback playing, fictional versions of themselves on the comeback and interacting with Valerie and what that would look like. So we're going to talk about that on the Rusty Anchor Happy Hour.
I also am going to throw at you. So start thinking now. I'm going to throw at you what quote, because Valerie Cherish, Lisa Kudrow's Valerie Cherish was known for her, that's my Kate Hepburn or whatever, her impersonations. Like she would do impersonations. So I want to know what quote from the girls, how would she impersonate the girls? Start thinking of those quotes.
Okay, I'll start thinking of those quotes. I also have something on the Rusty Anchor Happy Hour to surprise you with. So while I was watching Family Affair, I was like, oh, we've reached out to the actor who plays Michael. I'm sorry, we haven't reached out to him. We've tried to find him. We cannot find him on the internet anywhere. We cannot find him on any kind of social media. We've tried, guys.
Hard.
But I was like, what about Bridget? So I did some Googling, and I usually go to social media because that's usually where you can find someone.
Find Bridget?
I haven't found Bridget, but I found something so crazy and wild while Googling her that I'm going to talk about it on the Rest of Your Happy Hour, but it was very bizarre. I have it pulled up on my computer. So we'll go over it on Rest of Your Happy Hour, but I did find something.
Oh my God. What I would be so inappropriate talking to the actress who played Bridget, because I would be like, so what was it like acting next to a shirtless Michael?
Of course you would. Yeah. Did you notice that he had like just a hint of a sunburn,
just a
tiny bit on his chest?
He probably was out on the lot and sun tanning.
Yeah, maybe. Anyway, you guys can check out the Rusty Anchor Happy Hour and more, all of our live watch-alongs, all of our interviews with past writers, producers, and cast members that we've had on this podcast at patreon.com/Golden Girls Podcast.
With more coming soon.
Yeah, with more coming soon. We do have some exciting stuff that's coming up.
We do.
I did want to.
Should we get? Oh, please go ahead.
I wanted to ask you if you had your fan out and ready to fan yourself when shirtless Michael came on the screen.
I have one better. I have my Miss Piggy mirror, and I am ready. I am ready to fan myself. Should we get to it? Because I feel like we need to get to it.
Yes, let us get to it.
I have thoughts.
Okay, great.
Let us. And we pray.
Let us pray.
Get to
let
it.
us pray.
Let us pray. Let us pray.
I really like how simple this story is in Family Affair. This is
same
the exploration of two different mother-child relationships that just happen to intersect when the two adult children sleep together. It is a very simple story, and I love it. The best ones are the simple
stories. It's kind of classic
stories.
in a way. You know what I mean? It feels like a classic sitcom type story. You know what I mean? Where two unexpected people somehow get together. It feels like something that could happen on Friends.
Yeah, it does.
You know?
It's a very simple character-driven story. I thought it was really fun to see the difference between what a visit looks like between Rose and Bridget versus Dorothy and Michael. Like Rose and Bridget, they go picnicking, they go hiking, they pick wildflowers.
Not my family.
Dorothy gives...
That is not... No. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say Dorothy gives Michael $20 to take Sophia to the movies. But...
yeah, I feel like if I had to like choose what family relationship I relate to most, it's definitely Dorothy and Michael. And I feel like a lot of people are like that because it's just so chill and relaxed, you know?
Yeah, I think like, you know, if something comes up that you want to do and it's spontaneous, great. I feel like when Bridget comes to visit Rose, it's almost as if it's a friend coming who's never been to Miami. She's never been to Miami before, and she really wants to see everything, and you've got to like put stuff together. I feel like the reason why Rose does a lot of activities is because if you're just sitting around, you may talk. And Rose, Rose doesn't want to talk with Bridget.
And all we do in my house, one of my favorite things whenever I have a new person come into my house or to my family home is my mom always goes, just help yourself. Just help yourself. And it's like she wants you to go rummaging through the closets and stuff for food and stuff. She's like, just help yourself, because she doesn't want to serve it to you, but she wants you to eat it.
Yeah. She's like, everything's there. Like, yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
Help yourself. Yeah.
And so you sit down and then you talk. So Rose is clearly avoiding this kind of conversation.
She's avoiding it because
she doesn't want Bridget to help herself, and Bridget clearly helps herself.
I mean, later, like Bridget's like, I want to share my deepest, darkest secrets with you. And Rose is like, la, 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 la. Like, no, like this is great, Rose.
Wait, can we talk about something up top before we even get into the episode?
Yeah.
Because I feel like this is the conversation that always comes up every single time this particular episode happens, for the most part. It is the ages of these women. So when I was watching the episode, and I watch the episodes like right before we get on because I have a short-term memory, and Michael, not that Michael, was watching along with me, and he literally was like, how old are they? Because he was like, they had talked about Michael, like something around Michael or Bridget being in college, or Michael, like whatever. They're young. They're in their 20s. Like they're younger. And Michael was legitimately confused by how old these women are supposed to be in relation to their children, because the mathing. Now, Rose, you can kind of forgive because we don't know. We know some of her children, but we don't know exactly how many children she had. And so we don't know when was the last time she had a child. So I give some freedom there. But the Dorothy one, and I'm not a CSI person. I'm not a CSI Golden Girls person. However, ain't no way. Because if Dorothy had Michael, she got knocked. Michael's the oldest, right? Is Michael?
I don't know who's older, Michael or Kate.
Let's give the show some credit and say, okay, maybe he's the youngest. Let's say he's probably 3 years younger than Kate or something. That means Dorothy had Michael early 20s, give or take. You know what I mean? Like early 20s period, because she obviously had her first kid right after high school. And so that means if Michael is like mid to late 20s, that's going to make Dorothy late 40s, 50s, early 50s area. She ain't 50.
Well, I think the writer, and I think we figured this out, like, you know, there was that whole controversy of, you know, Dorothy and Stan were married for 38 years. She got knocked up, which is why they got married. And obviously Kate and Michael are in their 20s, and Stan and Dorothy just got divorced. So the math ain't mathin'. But
Yeah.
Otherwise, age-wise, I get that it was a different.
It doesn't bother me.
It doesn't bother me.
at all.
Obviously, I'm going to be, when little Oreo graduates from high school, I'm going to be
you're
like,
gonna be getting
I'm going to be
AARP
old.
age.
Yeah. I'm going to be like retiring age.
Yeah.
So, that part of it. But I also go, well, but maybe it was a different time back then where women were, it was more traditional for women to have kids in their 20s. But
yeah, I just think it's funny watching it through the eyes of someone like Michael, who isn't as obsessed with the show as we are and hasn't seen these episodes as often as we've seen them. For him to watch this so casually and pick up on that.
Yeah, it has never crossed my mind until that woman eating the nuggets on TikTok brought up the fact that the 38-year thing. It had never.
The math ain't math.
Yeah, the math ain't mathin'. It had never crossed my mind before that.
Yeah.
I never looked at them on screen and said, "There's no way that is their child."
Yeah, it doesn't affect me at all. I mean, I'm okay with the suspension of disbelief.
So in this episode, I love the B story of Blanche throwing out her back.
The amount of jokes, slut-shaming jokes there are at Blanche's expense is so funny.
It's so good. I love that it happened in an aerobics class during a buttocks lift. And of course it was around hanging out with a man.
When I go to the gym, I'm the what is that thing called you walk on?
A treadmill?
Thank you. The treadmill is facing the aerobics room, and it is like I often am listening to my audiobooks. I don't do music. I often am listening to my audiobook or a podcast or something. And sometimes I will quite literally pause whatever I'm listening to just to because I can't focus on what I'm listening to and watch these people do this jazzercise or whatever, the aerobic situation they're doing. It is so funny. So I today imagined Blanche in this aerobics class that I was watching at the gym. And it is very funny.
Yeah. Oh, I'm picturing like the Jane Fonda workouts. Like
same. But she's so distracted by the
handsome man. So I just flung my legs over my head. So she comes home, and the reason I mention it as I'm mentioning how we meet Michael for the first time is because there's a joke, and I think a missed opportunity for a joke. But yeah, this is Michael's first appearance on the show. And I always love when Dorothy greets her children, because I feel like it's so quotable. She says it, her cadence is so funny. It's the like, Michael, it is so good to see you. Everybody, it's Michael. And then she goes, why haven't you called? And that's her attitude through this whole episode.
See, I kind of feel like it's Dorothy at her most excited. Do you know what I mean? Like she seems really excitable when
she's
when
so
Michael
excited.
comes over.
And that's like the joke too, is that she's so excited and then caps it with, why haven't you called?
Why haven't you called?
So he's in town because Michael plays the saxophone, which we got to talk about later when he plays the saxophone. He's a jazz musician. He was just fired from his job at a club in New York City for refusing to wear a tie.
He wouldn't wear a tie. Michael.
I know, but that does feel like something you would like in your 20s when you like don't think about a 401k or anything. You're just like, fuck you, I'm gonna do what I want to, you know what I mean? Yeah. Speaking of,
can you do that on YouTube? Can I do that on YouTube?
I don't know. I don't know. Speaking of, I know I talked about on the Rusty Anchor Happy Hour, this is another reason to subscribe to the GGVIP club. Little Oreo has been saying some stuff lately.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I remember this.
She has been this kid. She makes us laugh so hard. And I swear, when she listens to this someday in the future, I'm just going to say it. I love her so much, and it's so funny, and I hope she laughs at this. But her and Stan.
Hi, future Oreo.
Hi, little Oreo. Her and Stan were like,
we're sorry for everything.
Messing with each other in the tub. And she goes, how about I punch you in your fucking face? What would you think about that?
How do you respond to that?
He tries so hard not to laugh. And
wait, where is she getting it from? Where does she get it from?
I don't know where she got that one from. I know, like, sometimes when Stan gets, like, he'll, the old adage of, like, the dad accidentally hammering his thumb, like he's dropped an F-bomb there.
Yeah.
So like that.
So she knows.
I think but I don't know How about I punch you in your fucking face? What would you think about that? I don't know
She's a
where
little-
that comes from.
She's a little Joe Pesci.
She really is.
She really is a little Joe Pesci. How about I punch you in your fucking face?
And then she asked, what would you think about that?
What would you think about that?
I mean, that's like her way, I
her.
think, of being empathetic. She's like, I'm practicing empathy.
Wow. Incredible. She's a little Dorothy.
Anyway, she's a little
actually.
Dorothy. She makes me
Yeah.
laugh so hard. So Michael quit his job over something trivial.
Yes.
And then when he meets Blanche, she's like, oh, I threw my back out because, and he's like, oh, no need to explain. My mother's told me all about you.
The fact that, I mean, that quite literally, she has an injury. She has a real injury, but yet they can't not make it a joke about her, which I love. I mean, and I love that everyone's in on it. It's so good.
The jokes about her are so good in this episode. So then Bridget arrives, and Bridget's played by Marilyn Jones. That is the name of an actor. Let me tell you what.
Marilyn Jones. I'm Marilyn Jones.
I'm Marilyn Jones, because Monroe was taken. So she did a lot of TV guest star stints in the 80s on like Matlock, Murder, She Wrote, and then kind of got out of the business.
She probably had a family and decided, you know what? Something is more important than my stardom.
Yeah. Or she was just like, I'm going to try something else, like whatever it was. But
yeah.
When we do meet Bridget, I feel like the writers missed a great opportunity for a callback joke when Blanche offers to give Bridget her room, because she's just like, oh, I'll give you my room and I'll sleep on the couch. I feel like,
because she's not going to need it because she can't be sexual.
Well, yeah, and I think like maybe sleeping on the couch would feel better for her back. I don't know, who knows. But I feel like they missed an opportunity for a joke where Blanche could have been like, I'll give you my room. See, I hurt my back because, and then Bridget could have cut her off and said like, oh, you don't have to explain. My mother's told me all about you. Like they could have done that again. And I was like, oh, like cute. I always like feel in that moment, I like want to wish to the joke to happen and it never does. And I'm like, oh, like perfect opportunity.
Do you feel like, and because I mean, the next little bit, there's a lot of setup for the payout of Bridget and Michael hooking up. Because like I don't think I realized that in past watches that we've done of this, that like it does feel like it takes a minute in the episode for them to get in bed.
Yeah, it does. They don't have a ton of on-screen time together, but in this moment, we're seeing their differences, that she is, he's an artist. He's a free spirit. He wears tight denim. Like she wears business casual suits and she's getting ready to study at Oxford. And she's comes across as a little uptight, even though her hair is like, her hair is going out at night. That is not an uptight hairdo.
No, not at all. Not at all. But it does feel like, I mean, because in the next scene, we have them in the morning in the kitchen, which we have a clip of, but like it's like, there's just a lot of buildup of setting up that these two people are very polar opposite. And also that Dorothy and Rose, they all agree to not try to meddle in their kids' lives and set them up, which clearly is setting up something's going to happen for them. But it does feel like if this episode was airing today and was written today, they'd be caught in bed together by the second scene. Like something would happen by the second scene and it would like start things really quickly. And it doesn't feel like, I feel like they had more room to play in this era.
Yeah. And I think too, it's because because this isn't Friends, because this isn't a show, Bridget and Michael are the guest stars of the episode. We don't see that sort of when Harry met Sally, or, we don't see that moment where, or even with like Meg Ryan and Tom Hanks, where like, that kind of like, oh, you get on my nerves, we're just friends, where that kind of turns into like something sexual. We don't see that, but it's because this isn't their show. This is the Golden Girls. And so that happens off screen. So it, it would have felt like we were more invested in seeing more of them and that their story does move along faster if we actually got to see them at the symphony.
Oh my God. Wouldn't it be funny if they had a spinoff series of Michael and Bridget having a baby?
Yeah. Oh,
think about that.
Think about that. I also wonder, like,
y'all.
could they have done any talking at the symphony? Like, I wonder if Michael would have like leaned over to Bridget and would have been like explaining music stuff to her.
Probably.
You know?
Probably.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a symphony.
Yeah.
I don't feel like, no one's talking.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whisper a little bit. Yeah.
I did
Oh.
want to play the top of the next scene, which is like the next morning. I want to play this strictly for the outfits. Dorothy and Michael are made up to look like two 20-year-olds going out in Brooklyn in this year of 2025.
Michael's sweater.
He's got this oversized like mustard sweater. He's got messy curly hair. He's got a mustache.
Y'all need to be watching this one. Go to YouTube.
Go to YouTube. Watch this scene. Watch this clip. Dorothy's got this oversized textured pink sweater, the vest, the gray
God, the
tie.
shoulder pads. Michael literally told me while we were watching this, make a note, Dorothy's shoulder pads in this scene. Like they are like linebacker. I mean, they are intense football level shoulder pads.
Wow. Okay. If Michael noticed, yeah, let's play the clip.
Mom, this is the best breakfast I've had in ages.
Me too, Dorothy. When we're alone, she feeds me lumpy oatmeal and black bananas.
Mom, I'll do that.
No, you will not.
You don't have to clean up after me.
I enjoy doing it.
Yeah, why not double your fun?
I do love that. I do love that. A friend recently, I had to do drag this past Sunday, and I was getting ready and stuff, and I asked Michael, because my friend was helping me with part of my hair, and I asked Michael to get me a Ricola from the cabinet. And because one person was like pinning something in here, and I was doing something with my hands, I literally just had my hand out like this, and I was just holding it out, waiting for Michael to put the Ricola in my hand. And my friend pointed out, she was like, why do you have your hand out?
I'm waiting for my Ricola.
So I'm Sophia is what I'm saying in this scene.
Yeah, you're Sophia. Just
waiting for someone to take my plate.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, that's so funny.
Yeah.
So Blanche comes in, having just returned from the doctor, where we learn she's supposed to wear a corset and stay on her back with her legs elevated for a whole week.
Yeah.
And yet she refused throughout the entire episode. Blanche's doctor must hate her because
I know
she spends the whole episode not lying on her back. She's mostly sitting in a chair or walking around and wearing her kitten heels, which I'm like, I feel like that can't be good for your back. And then at the end, she goes out on a date. So,
but I have to say, I have I have back issues, and sometimes when I put on a corset, I guess she's not wearing a corset, so I'm doing the right thing. But when I put on a corset, my back feels great.
Do you think it's because it like corrects your posture, or do you think it's
so?
Yeah,
I think so. There's something about it, but I feel great in a corset, but outside of a corset, I don't know.
Do you remember when I lived in West Hollywood and you came to my place to do the podcast and you used what was that table called for your back?
Oh yeah. Oh, what is that called?
Table? No, what's it called?
Yeah, something like the way you're upside down.
Yeah,
right? Yeah,
it stretches out your back. I think I still have a picture of you like on it, hanging upside down. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, in my old apartment.
Those were the days.
Oh, there's another Valerie Cherish joke.
Blanche is also feeling like playing a little matchmaker, although they give a lot of shit when they find out that Blanche gave them symphony tickets to go to the symphony. Like, they're a little too. What else would Blanche do? She sees two 20-year-olds bored in a home, and she has the opportunity to be like, hey, go see Florida, go out in Miami, here's 2 tickets to the symphony. I wouldn't think that that's bada bing, bada boom, sort of like lovemaking situation. I would think I was doing something good for young people.
Yeah, it is weird that and I think it's because they're like, no, we shouldn't meddle in our kids' lives. But it's like they're
meddling.
They're adults. They could say no if they don't want to. I don't think it's meddling too. Yeah, I do think that they kind of overreacted. Also, I feel like the women can't be that shocked when they bang, because I gotta say, when I was writing, and this has never left me, when I was writing on a TV show, and this is like, it's dumb, but it kind of goes back to like the Harry and Sally of it all. If we had two lead characters on the show who were single and attractive, we could only get away with that for like an episode or two before one of them had to get into a relationship, because the assumption is if you're single and you're good looking, then you're gonna bang. And so they like it was the thing where they were like, we gotta make sure this person has a girlfriend or this person has a boyfriend. Or if they break up, we can only do 2 episodes. It was a whole thing because they were like, or people are gonna be like, why aren't they
Wow.
banging?
Well, I mean, you know, I look at Michael and Bridget and I'm like, why aren't they banging? So, you know,
So that's
it
why
works.
like they shouldn't be shocked. You know,
No,
look, you can
they should not be
you
shocked.
can lead a herring to water, but you have to walk really fast or he'll die.
Can we talk though? Can we talk a little bit about Blanche's? And you pulled a clip for it
Mm-hmm.
of Blanche's kitchen scene.
Horny Blanche.
I am obsessed with this horny Blanche, and it is the moment that everything shifts. And it actually, like, what I find so interesting about horny Blanche in this scene is that Dorothy's response to horny Blanche, the laughter from the audience, is almost so loud that you don't hear Rose's scream.
Mm-hmm. You don't hear Rose's scream, and the end of Dorothy's joke almost gets cut off. Like the last few words of her joke, the audience is already laughing that hard that her joke isn't. I bet they had to bump up that audio.
I kept that in the clip we're gonna play
Great.
because I remember hearing it being like, you can't even hear Rose scream
because the audience is screaming.
Should we play it?
Yes.
Oh, Dorothy, do you realize it has been 4 days since I have enjoyed the company of a man?
I know, Blanche. I've been marking the days off on my big ships of the Navy calendar.
I don't think I can stand it much longer. My body feels like a Corvette up on blocks with its engine racing and the wheels just spinning and spinning with nowhere to go. I feel like I'm going to explode. Dorothy, you have to help me. You have to do something.
Honey, there's nothing I can do, so get that look out of your eye and let go of my hand.
Yeah.
Like you can't even hear Rose go, "Oh my God."
I feel like you can hear a little bit of "oh my," and then the God gets drowned out in the laughter.
Because people are laughing. It is so, I love that moment. Before we get to why Rose is screaming, we do need to take a break. So this is the cliffhanger. Did she see a dead body? Did Rose sleep with someone and kill them again? Who knows? Find out when we come back from this break. From a word from our sponsors.
So while Blanche wasn't hitting on Dorothy, Rose was discovering Michael and Bridget in Blanche's bed post-coitus.
Which, I mean, like, get a hotel, kids.
I mean, yeah, it's a little weird because it's like your moms are in the house. Your moms are in the house and it's the middle of the daytime.
They're in the house.
And they're awake.
If you're gonna do it though, do it in Blanche's room because she has all of the things you need, you know, condoms, lube,
the mirror on the
cream, ceiling, handcuffs. Like she's got it all in there. So like definitely do it in Blanche's room. But also your mom, your grandma is next door.
Yeah, I wouldn't even be able to. I couldn't. But like what's funny too is it's in Blanche's bed. Blanche is the one that is like the most like meh about it. Like their reactions are all so funny. Like Dorothy's pissed. Rose is shocked, but also incredibly naive when she finds out they're actually naked under the covers. Sophia calls
naked.
They're naked. Sophia calls Michael a gigolo, and she calls Bridget stupid and flat-chested. So she's just cruel. Yeah, and like Blanche just casually sits on the chair, like, what's the big deal? Which feels like the appropriate reaction.
Exactly. Blanche is the only one that is being mature in this episode.
And it's her
to me.
bed. Like she's gonna have to wash those sheets.
And she has a hurt back.
Yeah, I mean, I guess she's sleeping on the couch anyway.
It's almost like they're taunting her and being like, you can't have sex in your bed, but we can.
Well, you know what's funny about that is if this were like an HBO show, Blanche seeing them in bed would actually really upset her because she'd get so horny because she would be like, there's a naked man in my bed and sex just happened in this room and she smells it and the pheromones like drive her insane.
That brings up a good question that I meant to ask earlier. Why do you think Blanche is not attracted to Michael? Is it because he's Dorothy's son?
Are you trying to bait me with this question to get me to say she wasn't attracted to George Clooney?
She wasn't attracted to George Clooney, but I do feel like she might maybe not be attracted.
It's because it's her friend's kid.
No, I get it.
This isn't Adore, the Australian movie. Have you ever seen
No,
Adore?
I get it. No, I haven't, but I know the reference. I know the reference. Yes.
It's weird.
But like Blanche would recognize that Michael is an attractive young man. And so I feel like the fact that she has never said anything about how attractive Michael is a little off character for Blanche.
I don't think so. I think it's like when it's your friend's kid, it's weird. Just watch Adore and feel the weird feelings bubble up inside your body when you realize that
I don't think I'm gonna watch
when
that.
you realize that these two women, I think it's Naomi Watts and Nicole Kidman
and Robin Wright.
It's Robin Wright. Yeah, not Nicole Kidman. Robin Wright. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're little boys, like grew up together. They're little boys, and they would like, you know, babysit them and whatever. And then when these boys grow up to adult men, they both start sleeping with the other's mom.
Oh my God.
And the two
Full
women
circle,
are best friends. It's so weird.
Full
It's
circle.
a very
Naomi
horny
Watts
movie,
is
though.
in too much.
Who was?
That Netflix show. Naomi Watts is in way too
Oh.
much. The Netflix show.
Well,
yeah,
she's great.
she is great.
So I had a question for you. So
Sure.
when they're in bed and Bridget's like referring to the sex, she's like, I wouldn't call it great. And Michael says he has too much wine. Do you think that it happened
This is what I'm going to say. Yes.
too fast?
Yeah, go ahead.
Was it too fast
No.
or did he have trouble getting it up?
Here's my thing.
Okay.
I think, and I don't want to place blame on anybody, but I have a feeling that it wasn't the wine. That it was, in fact, Bridget didn't know how to handle a man like Michael. I'm just saying, no shade on Bridget, but I think those men that she previously had her tickle times with back in St. Olaf or whatever. I don't
tickle times in St. Olaf. That sounds like a kid's book.
I don't think that they taught her the ways in which Michael from Brooklyn, New York understands about sexuality. He emotes it.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, he may have used wine that would prevent something from standing at full esteem. However, I think an experienced lover would know how to handle that peculiar situation.
Oh, that's interesting. Rose would love to hear you say that her daughter isn't an experienced lover.
Hey, it's better than calling her a tramp.
I know, or flat-chested. I also feel like Michael plays jazz. Jazz is very like fluid. You just kind of go with the flow. You improvise.
And
you're in the moment.
He knows
plays
how
with his
to
fingers.
blow.
He knows how to blow.
I'm just saying, Michael knows what he's doing. It was all her.
He plays the saxophone. Yeah. No, okay.
I mean, when you can coordinate your blowing with your fingers, that's a talent.
This is the socials clip. So the women retreat to the living room to let them get dressed. And then this is where Rose and Dorothy begin to fight. You know, Rose thinks Michael seduced Bridget and that Bridget's too good for him, that Michael's a loser. And she calls him a loser. Like that's
harsh.
Yeah.
That's harsh.
And Dorothy's like, my son's a talented artist and your daughter is a slut.
Tramp.
Yeah, I guess she calls her a tramp. But there's so Blanche in all of this is the voice of reason. She's the mediator, the voice of reason in this episode.
I love Blanche in this episode.
And she does get a lot of good jokes in trying to be the mediator. So there she had one that I loved so much that I wanted to pull it. So I feel like
Please, yes.
let's play that moment.
Rose, when are you going to face up to the fact that your daughter is not the goody two-shoes you think she is?
What do you mean by that?
Rose, what would you call a girl who sleeps with a man she has known for one day?
A damn good sport.
I call her a tramp.
What?
You heard me, tramp. Tramp, tramp, tramp.
Tramp, tramp, tramp.
Yeah. Oof. Dorothy. Oof.
She's a tramp. She's a tramp of the high order.
Yeah, what's that from?
I don't know. I just made it up.
Oh, very good.
Thank you.
I'm like, is that from The Crown? I don't know.
No, I
It
wish.
sounds
I don't
very
know.
British.
No.
Yeah, I feel like that Blanche joke is so good because it's like she's talking about herself, obviously, and but she is also kind of defending Bridget. But I love that, a damn good sport. She's so funny in this episode because.
Well, and she's so sexually evolved. She's not judging these two young people for doing something that is totally normal and what you should do if you are 20-something years old and single.
Yeah, exactly.
Also, someone, I forget, it's in this scene, but someone says that Michael has bad taste, or that something that like Michael, it's inferred that Michael has bad taste, or that, no, I'm sorry, not bad taste, that Bridget is not Michael's type. I think Dorothy says it. And we know from a future episode that Bridget is not Michael's type. In fact, maybe someone a little bit older, a little bit more experienced is Michael's type. Maybe someone named Sadie Pines.
You surprised me with that one. Yeah, he does. He needs a more experienced woman. He needs a more mature woman.
I took, and let me just say, as a more experienced, mature woman, I took my first Waymo this week, and I did it. I was just fine, and I would have treated Michael to a Waymo ride.
For those who may not know what a Waymo is, these things scare the shit out of me. Why don't you explain what a Waymo is?
It's a driverless car that's kind of like an Uber situation. And I've never done it. And I was leaving a gig this week, and it was really close to my house. And I was like, oh, I posted the video of it on my Sadie Pine, so you can go there. But I was like, oh, I'll try it and I'll see what it's like. And it was fine. It was fine. I wasn't necessarily scared, although those turns, the Waymo can turn. It's kind of scary.
Yeah.
It's like a little intense.
Yeah.
But
it's a driverless. It's essentially Uber, but there's no driver. You're being driven by a robot.
I have to say, it's nice, though. It is nice in the so far as, especially when you're in drag, sometimes interacting with some of these Uber drivers, no shade on Uber or Lyft, but some of these Uber drivers are not necessarily the kindest when it comes to dealing with certain types of people, either drag queens, perhaps marginalized people. I'm going to throw out there possibly people of color. And there are certain activities that happen in situations that having a driverless car would be very nice in some situations.
Not to mention if you're just like, I don't want to share germs with somebody, or like I'm socially awkward, or I don't want to socialize with someone too. I feel like for people who get,
you know what Michael told me?
What's that?
Michael said that sometimes you can put deaf or whatever on your thing, and that sometimes people will do that so they don't have to talk. Yeah, which I think is smart, in some ways. Or just there should be an option like no talking. Maybe there is. I don't know.
Maybe. I don't know. It's been a minute since I've taken one. Yeah. I have to give props to Dorothy at the end of this scene because Rose is really mad and she storms off. And Blanche, again, being the mediator, she tells Dorothy to go after her. And Dorothy's like, no, like she said some hurtful shit too. And I'm also upset. My feelings matter. And I was like, yeah, that's a good point. Also, they should both cool down before they
should. I mean, because they're both wrong. Yeah. Like they're both wrong. Yeah, you're both angry, but you're also both wrong.
Yeah. So the next morning, the women are all kind of dealing with the aftermath. Everybody's like pissed at Blanche again for like doing nothing. But she's totally cool with it. She didn't care. And then Sophia comes in dressed in all black because she's mourning for Michael. He doesn't exist to her anymore.
So I don't know why Sophia's so angry.
I mean, I think for her...
You think she would also understand?
You think Sophia, it's always kind of hit or miss in these moments. She's either like really progressive and she was like, gay people should be able to get married, love whoever you want to love as long as you're happy. But then like when her grown grandson has sex in the house, she's like, you're disrespecting everyone and you're dead to me. So, I think in some senses, she's a woman of a certain age and she's very traditional. And then other times it just goes out the window. So it's also funny because if you watch the scene and if you don't know what's going on, if you were to just like walk in the room and have no idea and you see her sitting in the back at the island, like wearing all black with a veil, you would think that like she's an evil spirit, like entity haunting the other three women.
It's so dark.
It's so dark. You can't see her.
Yeah.
I wonder if she was just like sitting there with her eyes closed, like taking a cat nap while they were filming because she's not talking.
I would.
I would have done that. I would have closed my eyes, just like you just see her like nodding off in the background. So Blanche finally convinces Rose and Dorothy to talk to their kids. She's like, look, if you're not going to talk to each other, at least talk to your kids. And then it's such a small moment, but it broke my heart when she's like, I failed to listen to my own children. And you don't see them visiting around here, do you?
Yeah.
I was like, oh.
It really showed God, it really showed some depth of Blanche. And I mean, what I love about that line is that if you're really paying attention, and I think for a lot of people, you're watching a sitcom, so a lot of times you miss lines like that. But if you hear that line, there's such a story behind it.
Mhm.
There's so much weight behind it. There's so much sadness behind it that it's just only an actress of the caliber of Rue McClanahan would be able to deliver that line and have it be so organic and natural.
And I think it also goes to show why she has been so like chill about all of this, because she's trying to like instill that into the other women. She's like, I'm not going to fuel this flame of them getting so upset at their kids and trying to, butt into their personal lives in this way. So I also think that's maybe why she is doing it, is because she's like, I've done that. I haven't listened to my kids and they don't visit me. So I think she's really trying to help her friends. And again, it's the smallest moment, but it's like, it's so much about her character. That's why it's such beautiful writing.
Yeah.
So Dorothy and Michael's makeup scene when he's out on the Lanai playing the saxophone. Now, I don't play the saxophone, but I don't see his fingers pressing any of the buttons or moving around. It looks like he's just holding it completely still and blowing into it, even though there are all these different notes playing.
It's funny that you can see him do anything. When I watch this scene, I just try to imagine myself as the saxophone. So I didn't even notice the saxophone. I just noticed me.
You just close your eyes and you were like,
yes,
just kissing.
I'm like, there's that scene. You remember when Jodie Foster in Contact goes from the space machine to the beach in the moment where she's like on the whole, I had no idea that moment. They should have said to poet. They should have said a poet. That scene. And she's in like the fetal position as she sort of slowly glides down to the beach. That's me. That's the saxophone. That's me with Michael right now. Yeah.
I love that. I'm like, do you remember the scene? You're like, nope, I don't remember what happened in the scene. I also we do get a little bit of depth into Dorothy's character because, and again, they kind of set it up at the beginning, but we learn the actual reason that she's kind of upset with him. Like, yes, he slept with Bridget, and he's like, I wasn't thinking. And she's like, that's the problem. She's like, you do things without thinking, he's impulsive. He isn't good at accepting responsibility. And she admits that deep down, she just doesn't want him to wake up one day regretting the choices he's made in life. And she just wants him to be happy. And that's really, that's big of her to admit. And
that's sweet, but it's also almost, I don't know, I hear that, but I also think it's completely unattainable, because while you want to set a good example for your kid, one of the things that I loved about my mom is that she never really had any insight into what I was doing or the direction I was going in terms of my professional life. And she often was like, I have no idea how you make your money. I don't know. She doesn't get it. And on some level, I'm grateful for that, because it allowed me to do my own thing. She knew that I would make smart decisions and good decisions. And I think that is ultimately what Dorothy wants. But it is a lot of pressure to be to say, I don't want you to make bad decisions that you're going to regret later in life, when it's that's part of life, is making bad decisions.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And that's what he tells her. He's like, look, I'm going to live my life. And he's like, I'm a good person. Can you love me just for that? And I think for Dorothy, Michael's whole life, when he's growing up, he's in high school, he's living at home. So Dorothy's able to kind of keep tabs on him. Dorothy's able to sort of maybe see when she thinks he's going to make a bad decision, or if he's made one, where she can kind of be there to help him through it and maybe lecture him on, if I agree that, you need to let your child make their own mistakes and learn from their own mistakes. And I have a feeling that maybe she was a little overprotective growing up, where maybe she was a little controlling, or she did try to meddle when she saw that he was going to do something that he might regret. So now that he's in his 20s and he's not living at home anymore, I think it's a little bit harder for her to let go of that.
Yeah, exactly. And then he has to apologize to Sophia too, which I love.
Yeah, which is very, very sweet. And funny. Sophia was also very funny in this episode. A little underused,
Very
but
funny.
they had a lot of people in this episode.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
So then
and then comes Rose and Bridget.
she's packing.
That is a
Can we talk about the picnic basket?
My God.
She's packing a full on legit picnic basket that Bridget is supposed to take on a plane.
On a plane. Recently I was on a flight and someone brought like in a Tupperware fried chicken, which is like, okay, I'm all about bringing having leftovers, but like you're eating fried chicken with bones on the plane, like, and it's not that it smells, it's just weird. It's
a whole thing, you know.
I get a sandwich is sense. Carrots make sense. Even chips, gummies, pretzels, these all make sense. These are finger things that make sense. Eating meat off of a bone like you're eating a turkey leg at Disneyland is not the vibe for Delta Airlines.
Your fingers are getting real messy.
Plus.
There's going to be a lot of chewing and sucking sounds.
And you're probably that person who's eating that is always in the middle seat. Always.
Yeah, so they're really making sure to
bone fragments flying everywhere, you know. It's just no.
I once was in a Spotify commercial. I was actually in 4 Spotify commercials once, and brag. And there was one where, and I played a different character in each one, and there was one where I was playing a woman in the middle seat of a plane, and I was a woman who I had the cat carrier on my lap. And like,
oh my God.
And like,
oh no.
I'm like opening it and I'm like petting the cat and I'm like showing it to the other people who are like, oh God. And the cat's like meowing and there's like fur going. Anyway. Yeah, there's something about, I feel like the people who get the middle seat, I don't know if it's the type of people that choose the middle seat, if it's a coincidence, but for some reason,
I don't think anyone chooses the middle seat.
No, I think it's like they've booked they're like, well, I have to take this flight.
If you chose the middle seat on a flight, please reach out. I want to know.
Let us know if you're traveling with family and you're taking up the whole row, fine.
I get it. I get it. But if you're like randomly, you actively chose the middle seat and you weren't sitting next to someone you know, I want to know that reason.
Yeah, I want to know that reason too. Let us know. Yeah. So Rose, it's so sweet. Rose doesn't want to talk about what happened. You know, she just wants to pretend like it never happened. And I'm glad that Bridget pushes her a little bit. Yeah. She's like, Bridget wants her mom to be a pal and a confidant to her. And, you know, like Rose thinks she's still a virgin. Rose is having such a hard time with her growing up.
I wanted your first time to be special. It was years ago.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Yeah. However many years ago. Yeah. So, yeah, but it's sweet. So they sort of have a little makeup too. And then the kids leave. We learn that Michael got a job in New Orleans, which is like, that's so great that he was able to like apply for an interview for a job from Miami, I guess.
In 1986.
Yeah,
great.
But
yeah.
So, and Blanche has a date because she doesn't give a shit about her back.
Yeah.
And that's
she's
the episode.
She's going to get it blown out in another way. Boom.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, once it heals, she's probably going to re-enter it on a trampoline. Yeah.
Good for her.
Yeah.
What a good episode. What a classic.
Great episode. Yeah, this one's definitely in my regular rotation. I love this episode.
Same.
Yeah.
Same. Okay, should we come back with some golden takeaways?
Yes.
Oh, me so horny. And we are back with our golden takeaways, which is a nugget of truth or inspiration that you can apply to your lives or the lives of our listeners. Kerri, Doherty, Bush, Montgomery, Horny, Clift, what's your golden takeaway?
One thing, just thinking about Blanche's injury, I feel like one thing that is kind of relatable and also really common is when you reach a certain age and your body just kind of like breaks for no reason, like an old car. Like I was just a friend of mine, I think she's 50. She's one of my best friends. She was like, oh, do you want to go for a hike? And she's normally like she hikes. She goes up like so far, deep inclines. And I was like, well, like, you know, I'm pregnant. I could do like a gentle walk. She's like, no, that's actually perfect. Cause she's like, my knee just like stopped working just out of nowhere. She was like, she was telling me, she's like, yeah, this just happens. She's like, you know, I didn't injure it. I didn't do anything. It just like started hurting a lot. And so she's like, so she has to go easy on it so she can't do her like wild hikes. So yeah, just,
Wow.
I know. It's just one of those things that happens in life. C'est la vie. Anyway, what's your golden takeaway?
Mine's along the same vein, actually. So I have noticed, not like I said, like I mentioned earlier, I do have pretty frequent back pain. And it's all because of my core. It's always the core. I got to work out the core, got to make the core stronger, got to do the core thing, whatever. And so now I've gotten in the situation where my back hurts the most and will get like stiff and like bad only when I'm laying down. Only when I'm laying down.
Wow.
Like, and it's not so much that I feel it when I'm laying down, but I feel it when I get back up from laying down. Like that's when I start to feel it. And every single morning I wake up and I think, is this how I'm going to die? Like, is this what's going to take me, this back pain? You know what I mean? Like, and then eventually it fixes itself, and it has I go through the day and I go to the gym, I do all the things I'm supposed to do, you know? And like how I say I'm supposed to do, as if like I don't have free will. And so, yeah, so my golden takeaway is I think I just need to live life like Blanche and just like, you know, not pay attention to it and just go and just realize it's a problem that will probably fix itself. And it's nothing that any man can't fix.
I mean, if this was a serialized show, the next episode would start with Blanche in like a back brace and like truly not getting up.
Yeah.
That's if this were a serialized show, that's what she would have been like, well, I tried.
Well, I tried my damnedest. Yeah, but that's my golden takeaway.
That's a great golden takeaway. I mean, I hope you don't die because of your back, but yeah.
Yeah, wouldn't that be a plot twist?
Well, everyone, this has been another episode of Out on the Lanai. Thank you all so much for listening. We will be back soon with more Golden Girls greatness. And remember, you can check out the GG VIP Club at patreon.com/Golden Girls Podcast. You can sign up for as little as $5 a month, but you do get the most at $8 a month. And if you sign up for a year, you pay less than $8 a month. So check it out. So much great stuff at patreon.com/Golden Girls Podcast.
And you can follow us on Mom, Moguls of Media. Go support them in Mommy Plus. And you can also follow us on social media at Golden Girls Pod on the Twitters, Out on the Lanai Officials on the Grams, Golden Girls Pod on the Buckles. And I'm HAlanScott /Sadie Pines on all the ickles.
And I'm Squidsy on Instagram and Squid Eat Squid on Twitter, but I'm not very active, so I don't know if it's worth following me. I may just stop dropping these plugs altogether. But if you want to do something nice for the podcast, you can rate and review us wherever you get this podcast, and you can subscribe to our YouTube channel because it does help more Golden Girls fans discover us and join our lovely community of kick-ass fans.
I genuinely want to know, this is a tangent, I genuinely want to know when we're going to get to a place where we accept that Twitter is called X and that people can stop saying the line, or whatever it's called now, because we all know what it's called.
Yeah.
We know it's called X. We just don't want to call it X. I think we should just say Twitter because I refuse to call it the thing that man called it.
Sure.
That's what I think we should start saying.
Okay.
That's a tangent.
All right. That's a lovely tangent.
And on that note, remember,
as always, stay golden.
Golden. And follow me on Twitter. Don't. Follow me on Threads.
Out on the Lanai is not endorsed by Whit Thomas Harris Productions, Touchstone Television, Disney, or any of its subsidiaries. It is intended for entertainment and informational purposes only.
All names, pictures, audio, and video clips of the Golden Girls are registered trademarks and/or copyrights of their respective trademark and/or copyright holders.